It feels funny. All right, we'll do it. We're going to sign it. We'll say, hi, everyone, or hello, everyone. I don't know which I usually say, but anyways. Hi, I'm NonnaGrace. I used to be spaghetti in class because I like pasta. So when they wanted to say my name, they just went, woo, 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 like you're doing spaghetti.
Yep.
But, anyways, today I'm going to put a little video in, and it's going to be part 3, if you want to count the very first one as part 1, which I would. And then I put part 2, and this is going to be part 3 of the gray Stone Manor. I feel so bad that the sound went out. And if I'd have known the sound went out when the dogs knocked my microphone off, that it was no sound there to begin with, I could have just taken the whole thing off and just used the mic that was built into the machine itself.
GoPro.
In the GoPro.
Yep.
But I didn't know it. So I had to do voiceover again, and it's not easy. This one was even harder because I didn't say much in this one. I just did a lot of looking around. That's about it. And so I tried to remember what everybody was talking about when I was doing the voiceover. Well, I hope you enjoy it. And I was saying, I don't know if I said it in the video or not, but I think that they kept the lights down low so that you get that eerie feeling, ooh, spooky feeling. But it will, I hope they don't choose that as my thumbnail.
Yeah.
But anyways, they had the lights all low. I like bright. I like it bright. I don't like it so dark. Or I don't know how to do dark, but night. I don't like the night feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's just go to that video and you can see. When we were upstairs leaving Mr. McStache's room, we went downstairs because we were going to meet with Heather. And as we're going down the stairs, I needed to hang onto the railing. You'll notice the camera jolt in a second. There it was. And what happened is I was getting dizzy with the darn stairs, and Jim had to take the camera so I could hang onto the railing and come down. That spiral staircase plays havoc with your bifocal. When we got down, we then went into the sitting room that we were in when she told us the history of the house. And there's Heather, and I had told her that the volume was gone on the first part. She says hi. And we're going into the kitchen area, and there's the dogs, and they got excited to see us. And when the dogs are excited, they jump on you, and when they jumped on me, they caught their foot on the cord of the microphone, and it fell to the floor. Had I known that the sound was gone at that point, I could have just disconnected the mic completely from the camera and used the internal mic on the camera instead of the microphone that I was supposed to be wearing, because it died. As you could tell, I have to do voiceover on this. So Jim was trying to find the little hole in the cat, and I told him that don't worry about the cat. It's not going to be breezy here. You could just pin it to me. So he says, okay. And so that's what he does. He just pins it onto my shirt. But I really didn't need it. It's sad that it was not noticed at that point, because it was long before then that the sound had died. We went into the kitchen, and it said sadness lit up, and then sodium shuttle. But the sodium was because she had just bought salt and vinegar, and she was going to mix it together and do a natural spray with it to spray the weeds so that she could kill the weeds that were near the barn that she's hoping to get. There's vinegar. And I don't know if it's because it hurt us talking about vinegar or what, why the words came up. We didn't understand that. After we've discussed that a bit, then she says, okay, we can go downstairs. So let's go So we're going to go to the basement now. You're going to be surprised. And everything in that house is dark in most areas. And I think it's because it gives it that eerie feeling. Now, going down the stairs, I handed the camera to Jim before I went down because I knew I needed to hang onto the railing. The railing went part way and then it broke off, and then there was another railing that was off from that one, so that's what I used to go down. And when we got to the basement, I remember saying, wow, this is a nice basement, because it's nothing like our basement. It has a really nice floor, and in there was tons of furniture. Too much furniture, actually. And the house felt very claustrophobic. And I thought, my goodness, it must have been a job to bring everything to the basement. Showing you the table, the Ouija table. And I'm going to look around the room, and there was a foosball table on the other side. There was a chair. Well, right now she's going to take us to where the outside entrance to the cellar would have been. And she was showing us that there was some artifacts that they had dug up. And she's showing it, but it's very dark in there. Very, very dark. Everything was dark. Too dark for my eyes, anyways. Maybe you get used to it. Some people like it real dark, but I don't care for it real dark. I need to have it bright so I can see what the heck is around me. There was some wheel there. And then when we came out, there was this wood man that was sitting in a chair, and she said that it can turn into a coffee table. It can stand and hold like a serving tray. So it's like a waiter would be, but it's made out of wood, all wood. Then she brought us back to the Ouija table, and I was saying that I had bought a Ouija board years and years ago, and it was $3. And I asked, how do you say goodbye? And she says, you have to knock 3 times, tell it thank you, and tell it goodbye, and tell everything to stay there, because she said when it's acting crazy, she says you don't want it to follow you anywhere. So that's how you say goodbye to a Ouija board. So if you have a Ouija board, make sure you knock 3 times, thank it, and move on. After the Ouija board, we saw the cat on the floor, and the cat's going to jump on the table in a few seconds. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there's a cat up in the stairway, too. But here comes the cat that wanted to go outside. He's going to jump up on the table. I looked around the room, and what did I see? To see what I could see, she decided we should go into the other area of the cellar, and I noticed, wow, this is really a different kind of cellar. Our cellar doesn't look like this. Then she taps the wall at the end. You'll see her tap the wall, and what she's doing is she's telling me that they had to put up all those partitions. And now we're going to go into what they have is called the furnace room, but it's not like a furnace room. It's got bookcases in there. With the bookcases, there's the decanters for the alcohol, and there's a pool table in there. The cat was following us every room that we went into. And also in this area, there is a wicker kind of casket with a body in it. And she said that that's when they would travel in the summer and it was hot. It gave the corpse a chance not to stink because it would rot. And plus, if you weren't dead, you could breathe. And there was a gambit table. And then Mrs. McStache pointed out there's another deer head. It's like, wow, this is yuck. And there was a television in there, I noticed. Then they were talking about the heating system that's in the place, telling that it's oil heat, and it had coal heat at one time. Jim's going to tell them about his brother's house. Oh, before that, we saw the cup that was in the corner, and she mentioned that's what the cups were for. This is where I learned that the cup in the child's room was actually a ghost if the ghosts were there or the spirits were there, it would move the cup because it's something that would move very easy. And there was a cat or the sticker on it so that you could tell whether it was turning or not. Now they're still talking about the furnaces, the heating system, and I went over to there, and there's a 8-track player. That was one of the newer things that was in the room. And she's telling about the heat and how the air conditioner didn't want to work in the house. I wish the sound had not gone out because there was a lot being discussed, and I don't know what Mrs. McStache is telling her. All I know is that she counts. When she counts on her fingers, she counts the deaf way, the 1, 2, 3. If you'll notice, when she counts, it'll be a little bit yet, probably. I can't tell when they're going to do it or not do it. There's a thing. Whoops! I guess I can move that. There was a thing in front of when I'm doing this voiceover that was blocking the picture. I didn't know I could move it. I wanted to move it because it's blocking part of the picture that I'm trying to watch as I'm talking to you. Now Jim's telling about his brother's heat. It can be done with coal, it can be done with oil, and it can be done with, I think, propane. I'm not sure what he said. Because when he goes away, he would turn it on the oil so that this way, when he came back home, it would be fine. Oh, it was wood that he used to burn. Wood, coal, and gas, I believe. Or oil. Wood, coal, and oil. Yep, that's what he used to use. And when he looks over towards me, he was talking about the pellet stoves. And I think that the neighbor used to sell pellet stoves. Yep, he says, yep, they did. This is so hard to do because I don't know what was being said, truly. I didn't say very much when I was down in the basement. I did a lot more looking than I did talking. She's telling that the cat's over there on the floor. I don't know what's going on now. You can only guess. We're talking about something. I don't know what they were talking about. Oh, good heavens. And Angela, she's gonna put her hand over her head, I think, at one point. I don't know what she was motioning about. But she was motioning something, and that's when she did her counting. Maybe it's now. I don't know. She's talking. Nope, maybe not. I don't know where it was at, unless I cut it out. Maybe I cut it out. I don't know what I've cut out and what I haven't cut out. Oh no, she's going to do it now. She's going to say something, something over there. I have no idea. Went way over, she says, whatever it was. And then she counts on her fingers. You'll see the 3. She'll do 3. I think. Is this where it is? I don't know. Things blocking me again. I gotta move it. Oh yeah, there's 3. She's showing 3. This thing blocks. She went from here to there. This looks like she's saying with her hands. Have a good night. I'll see you later.